Hello, we are back to the second part of Kaam ki baat. This morning in his address to us, the Prime Minister came up with a new slogan, New India. I think let me first of all compliment the Prime Minister. Almost every 2 months he comes up with something new. I think there's something quite remarkable about his creative capacity. Sometimes I hope he is as creative in implementing things on field as he's thinking about them. Now what all did we hear? A Make in India, a Skill India, a Swaach India, a Digital India, a Cashless India, a Standup India, and now a New India. Only worrying part is that in most of these, while we get quite euphoric, although I belong to the Congress, and I would hope that most of these slogans are as empty as they sound, and the rhetoric is where it is. My niggling fear that there may be something happening out of this is not coming true. And there I would really like the Prime Minister, the next time when he speaks to us, to actually tell us, when he talks of Make in India, how much is actually being made here. When he's talking of Smart India, what is really happening? When he's talking of Startup or Digital India, what is it that's getting to start up here? What are we doing in terms of digital economy? And last time, if you remember, I had requested the Prime Minister to tell us when he spoke about this Digidhan and Cashless India, two simple questions. You've taken a major step, and many people in India have complimented you, and in fact you claim that the UP and Uttarakhand victories are actually a stamp on your demonetization exercise. So almost every Indian is waiting with a bated breath as to how much black money has come back. And in our normal understanding, most of the black money should be with those who do more business than others. I think that's a clear logic. So where are the industrialists? How many of them are behind bars? How many of our traders are behind bars? How many of these people who roam around in Mercedes and BMWs are behind bars? I think that's something if you tell us, what we popularly call Adanis and Ambanis, not just them, may they do well for themselves. But I think many of them obviously must have gone to jail since, you've kind of taken out everybody's money and thrown them behind bars and made India a corruption-less society. So I think that's the question you should tell us. Second is, you've often said that when we go cashless, we're actually helping the nation. Now, I know in one sense we are helping Paytm, we are helping Airtel, we are helping the banks by giving them 50 paisa for every 100 rupees transacted. But what is it that I or a poor person is getting? And I think that is important because, I'm not too happy filling in the pockets of the Chinese through the Paytm, who ultimately land up doing trouble on our borders, whether it's Aksai Chin or it's Arunachal Pradesh. So I think it's a little unfair to ask us to fund the Chinese in their operations against India just because, it suits one of your fancies. And to end it up, I would also say that, one thing I was quite happy with. There's a little girl, Gayatri, who spoke to you about her anguish and anger with regard to dirty cities and the fact that Swaach Bharat has to become a campaign that we understand. And you endorsed her anger, her passion, her feeling of frustration against governments and its people who are not keeping their cities clean. And that brings me to your BJP's MCD. Everybody knows how dirty this city has become. This Delhi, is probably one of the worst capitals, dirtiest capitals in the world. And I think, Prime Minister, you must be true to your words. Everybody said you're true to your words. And when on the 23rd, the Delhiites come out to vote for the NCD elections, you will show your anger, you will show your commitment to cleanliness and wipe out the BJP, clean it out of the MCD because they've made this city perhaps the dirtiest capital in the world. Thank you very much.